Hi everyone and welcome to another tutorial. That is the GoPro Max 2, the first GoPro Max I ever used. And it's basically the same as all the other GoPros, except that we can record in 360 degrees. So I got this camera here on Black Friday to make this tutorial about this GoPro. I will show you how to insert the memory card, how to record a video, how to record a photo. I will also give you tons of examples of how the footage will look like. And if you would like to say thank you, Daniel, without saying thank you in the comment section, you can get the GoPro Max 2, the memory card or the accessories I used to record this video using my supporter link in the video description. Now let's get started. So here's the GoPro from all sides. As you can see, you have two lenses and obviously the camera is ignoring itself. Then you have a power button on the side and a trigger button on top. With that trigger button, you can start and stop a video. You can take a photo, so as time lapses and hyperlapses. If you have a look on the lower side, you have a tripod thread in the middle and an included action mount, which I find really nice. Then you got this big compartment, which contains the USB-C port to charge the battery, which takes super long, by the way. You have this a battery and a micro SD card. My recommendation is in the video description. Usually the USB-C port should be on the other side in a different compartment, so when you have to charge your camera on a bumpy road using a power bank, for instance, while recording, the battery won't have the chance to flip out on a second compartment. But since they're all in the same compartment, take out this battery by pulling on this latch, and then you have this memory card, which you have to get separately. You can use mine from the video description and make sure that the colored side, where it usually says the brand on it, is facing inwards and the side with the pins is facing outwards. Push on it once with your nail to take it out, and to put it back in place, make sure, as I said, the pins are facing to the outside. And that was the GoPro from all sides. So everyone, welcome to your new GoPro Max 2. I'm Daniel and I'm introducing now the camera menu first of all. So let's swipe from the top to the bottom. As you can see, we have some icons right here. We have three menu options. If we swipe from the right to the left, you can see that we have already used 23.5 gigabytes of my 256 gigabyte memory card. I can delete the files on the memory card, which I don't do at the moment. I can enable an auto upload to the cloud if you have selected a cloud service for your files. And here is the main menu. So if you don't like these beep tones that your GoPro will do, you can disable them by pushing on this icon right here. If you would like to have an orientation lock for these icons here, once you rotate the camera, you can use this icon. If you would like to use quick capture, that's now off and that's on. What it does, I'll show you that in a second. So the usual way to turn on and off the camera is to push this power button here for about 2 seconds. Let's say you see something that is really interesting and you don't have time to switch on the camera, to jump from the photo mode into the video mode, simply push on the trigger button for 2 seconds. The camera will now turn on. It will start to record a video instantly. And once you push that button again, it saves that video and it's powering off again. We speak about this point here in a moment. Then you have your preferences right here. You have Wi-Fi settings, general. Here you can set the beep volume. I set it to low. I just want to have a feedback, but not as loud as it's by default. Auto power off after 5 minutes. And let's say I don't like to see any LEDs because I placed my GoPro behind a window and it's recording a time lapse and I don't want to have the reflections in that window. I can select LEDs to off. Here you can select the photo mode, that's 36p or JPEG. Then you have voice control, display settings. If you would like to save some battery, you can switch that brightness to a lower level. And if you're in bright daylight, you can switch it to 100%. If you need a grid, you can switch it on right here. And as you can see, that screen is so small that it's sometimes hard to push on the correct icon. Here you can change the language. And at the moment you can see that we have selected 60 Hz NTSC. That means if we jump into the video mode here very quick, we can see the video frame rates that we usually see on an iPhone or in the United States. 24, 30, 60, 90 or 100 frames per second. If I would like to record a video anyways with 25 frames per second, I have to go to regional, select 50 Hz, and then I see different frame rates. I don't know why they make it so complicated, but right now, as you can see, I can record my video in 5.6K with 24, 25 or 50 frames per second. Here you can select the date, the time, and you can do a reset on all your settings. That's the video mode, and as you can see, with the remaining capacity, with this resolution and this frame rate, we can record for another 3 hours and 17 minutes. I can also switch the lenses by pushing on this icon right here. They are called shortcuts and you can adjust them, as I will show you in a few moments. You have 3 icons right here. Here's another mode and here's another mode, and we'll have a look at these modes in a second. That's the remaining battery. And as you can see, this here is the duration. Let's say the duration of the video for 5 minutes. We will record now a video for 5 minutes. I can switch that now off and I can change that shortcut in a second. So using these sliders right here, you can already see that we can record in either a standard profile or in lock if you'd like to use color grading later on in post. Usually that is set to standard. I would go for the highest resolution, and since I'm living in Germany, I would select 25 frames per second. If you need a scheduled capture of your dance contest, place your GoPro in a tripod if no one of your friends or family has time to record you. Then inside this menu, you can select at what time the GoPro should switch on and for how long it should record. So you can say, GoPro, please switch on at 12:30 p.m. and record myself for 15 minutes since I have a dance contest and no one can take a video of myself. You got a timer for your video. Let's say you don't want to see yourself while extending your invisible selfie stick. Make yourself a timer of 3 seconds until the video actually starts. What I would do, I would take 10-bit, gives you a better video quality. You can select a manual exposure for your video. So recording with 25 frames per second, the correct shutter speed should be at a 50th of a second. However, if you don't have any ND filters for that and you're recording in bright daylight, the camera will have to use a shorter shutter speed. If you see that your video is usually a bit underexposed, you can do an exposure compensation. So if you think that your video is underexposed, you go into the plus region. If you think it's overexposed, you go into the minus region. I just keep it to 0 for now. You can change the white balance right here if you would like to use your own white balance. Sharpness is set to medium, and here you can have either a vibrant color, so a lot of dynamic, natural looking, or a flat profile for color grading. You have a wind reduction filter right here. It's recording with 360-degree audio, so all around the camera. Bitrate is set to high, as said before. And here are the shortcuts which you can adjust. Let's say on the upper left, I don't like to see the duration. I would like to see color. And now I can see the color icon. So I can easily switch to a flat profile, natural or vibrant looking video. To start a video, push this icon right here and the GoPro MAX 2 will start to record a video instantly. To stop this video, push this button once again. If you select video, you have some different settings here. You have POV if your camera is mounted on a head strap, for instance, or on a cappy. And here you got the same settings as before. You can record in standard, lock, 8K, 4K, 5.6K. If you select 4K, you can also select a higher frame rate, because in 8K the camera won't be able to record with 100 frames per second. And the other settings that you see here are the same as shown in video mode. Then you got selfie mode, where the camera tries to keep you in focus with a maximum resolution of 8K, and that means 25 frames per second. And here are the settings exactly the same as before. Then you can also select a loop recording for a skateboard stunt, for instance, because looking at a footage that takes an hour or something is quite tiring. So if you do skateboarding and you want to try out something, you can limit your recording length, let's say to 5 minutes. That should be enough. So you can try out whatever you would like to try out and your video won't get longer than, for instance, 5 minutes. You can also create your own preset. Let's say you would like to take a video. Okay, that's for sure. I would like to take my video in 5.6K. I would like to use a higher frame rate. I would like to maximize, or no, I would like to take a white balance of, let's say, 4500 Kelvin. Then you can save that and then you can say, well, I would like to use that for the snow. And then it's saved up here as a snow profile. So as you can see, you have 3 icons, and if I use the center part of the camera, I jumped into another mode, that is time warp. Time warp is a stabilized video that is being accelerated by the camera, in this case to 10x of its normal speed. You kind of have the same settings as in video mode. Here's 5.6K, 8K. You can select the speed you want, so the longer something takes, the quicker I would choose the video acceleration, and the shorter something happens, the shorter I would take the speed. So if you are just walking through a park, I would probably leave it in 5x. Here the settings as shown before are the same as in video mode. Then you have 3 modes which are almost doing the same. Star trails. If you're in the Rocky Mountains or in the Grand Canyon and if you would like to take a wonderful star trail video, the camera will do that in 5.6K, and you can probably select also a different resolution. Let me see, yeah, that is possible also in 8K. And what it does, it's using an extremely long exposure time. These kind of modes don't make sense in New York City with too much light pollution. They only make sense where you don't have too much light pollution. Let's say you don't want to wake up in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock, then you can select a scheduled capture, 3 o'clock in the morning. The camera wakes up automatically and does a nice star trail video for you in the middle of the night. Light painting is kind of similar mode, because right here the camera will take now a video for you either in 5.6K or 8K, and what it does, it's using a shutter speed of 0.5 seconds. So if you stand in front of the camera and use a light tube or the torch of your phone, then you can draw some nice images in the air and the camera will take a video of that. Vehicle lights is self-explained. The camera will take now a 5.6K video. You can also select 8K with an exposure time of 2 seconds. So if there are some cars passing by in front of you, you can see those lights instead of the individual car. Then you got time-lapse video, a mode that I really love. Here you can select either if you would like to have a video that's without post-editing, or if you would like to capture individual photos. In this case, I would definitely choose video. Here you can select the resolution and the interval. If something is happening really quick, choose a short interval, and if something happens really long, choose a long interval. With an interval of 60 minutes, the camera has to stand for 25 hours if I'm shooting an 8K video with 25 frames per second, because it only takes 1 photo per hour. And by having 1 second of video, it takes me 25 hours to record that. So keep that in mind when you do time lapses. And the rest is the same. Scheduled capture, you can limit the duration, you can select a timer, white balance, exposure compensation. You can even limit the ISO, and you can record also in a flat profile. Night time-lapse is the same as time-lapse. Here you can either save a video or photo, the resolution once again, interval, is now at the moment set to 2 minutes. So every 2 minutes, the camera is taking a shot, and here is the appropriate shutter speed. So if I would like to take a night lapse of the sky, I would probably select 10 or 15 seconds as my shutter speed. And then we go to the next mode, that is our photo mode. From the principle, it's always the same. Yeah, if I jump on photo, as you can see right here, I can select now a timer, which is useful because you can extend your selfie stick and then the camera will take a nice photo of you. You can select either off, 3 seconds or 10 seconds. So you have enough time to jump in front of the camera to be on the same photo. You can also select interval photos. Say the camera takes every 10-second photo. I don't know for what, but you can do scheduled capture. The settings here are the same as in video mode. And here are the shortcuts that you can adjust by yourself. You have also a burst mode. That's also self-explained. That means you take 10 photos in 3 seconds, and that means you can take 30 photos in 6 seconds. You have a timer and a scheduled capture, and the rest is the same. And on a night photo, the camera is exposing now for a longer time. So make sure to place it on a tripod in order to get the best result. If you would like to playback your files, you simply swipe from the bottom to the top, and there we go. You can delete this file here. Then it's deleting it from your memory card. You can switch between those two lenses. Here you have a timeline, you have the audio, and here you can see what we have recorded. If you don't like these files anymore, you can select multiple of them and delete them from your memory card. 8K 25 recording myself here on the GoPro MAX 2 in Germany, December 2025. And that is the maximum field of view possible here on the GoPro MAX 2, which looks super weird on the screen. That is the maximum field of view possible, recording myself here on the GoPro MAX 2 using its single lens mode in the area of Cologne. If you turn on your GoPro MAX 2, the first time when you connect it to the app, there will probably a firmware update available, and make sure to say update firmware. At the end, I would like to show you the GoPro Quick app and what kind of settings we can adjust on our GoPro using our phone. Make sure Wi-Fi and Bluetooth is turned on. Go to your app store and type in GoPro. Then you will find an app that looks like this. That is the GoPro Quick app. Open this app and looks like this. You can create a GoPro account, but you don't have to, which I like, so you can continue as a guest. The app structure is super simple, to be honest. So here's the GoPro icon. Now you have to turn on your GoPro in order that your phone can find your GoPro. Your phone won't be able to find your GoPro if it's not turned on. So after your GoPro is turned on, and you open up this app, you should already see that the GoPro is popping up, and you say connect, and you need to confirm that on your GoPro screen. We can add also multiple cameras to this app by using this icon right here. We can shut down the camera from the app, and here are the settings that we just previously talked about when we had a look on our GoPro itself. So you can enable voice control, you can set the beep tones, you can enable quick capture, which is a nice function that saves some time. You can lock the screen, you have the orientation lock. Here's the camera mode. So we're recording now in 360 degrees. There's a single lens mode as previously discussed. Here are the beep volume tone, which is set to low. We can turn off all the LEDs. They may disturb you when you record a time lapse in front of a window, for instance. And to avoid having any reflections on the window, make sure to turn them off. You can adjust the brightness of your GoPro screen. You can set the language. And let's say you don't find a specific frame rate like 8K 30, you need to select 60 Hz, that is NTSC. Here's the battery level SD capacity, and so on. So all the settings we find on the GoPro are nicely set here on that bigger screen in order to adjust them. You have 3 different modes right here. We're now in time-lapse mode, here's the video mode, and here's the photo mode. If you want to enable the preview, you need to select this icon. Then it takes a short moment and you need to join the Wi-Fi network that the GoPro created. So there is no external Wi-Fi network required to establish a connection between the camera and your phone. And here are we in 360-degree space. The quality itself looks super poor, don't judge it. The quality itself is much better, but they lowered the quality for a better transmission. So you can jump between single lens and 360-degree footage. I can use now the other lens here on this side, and if I want to jump between lenses, use this icon right here. Here it says we're now in video mode. We're recording in 16:9, 4K, 25 frames per second. If I use the pencil icon, I can adjust the settings 16:9, 9:16 or 4:3. Here's the resolution. Here is the frame rate. Here I can adjust the field of view. I can lock the horizon in case I don't want the horizon to turn with the camera while flying a plane, for instance, or while being on a motorcycle. That is the image stabilizer, and the rest is basically self-explained. You can adjust the ISO, the minimum ISO, maximum ISO. You can change the color to vibrant, natural or flat. And what I would change, set bitrate to high for a better video quality. And you can also adjust the shortcuts that we've previously seen on the GoPro screen. To start a video, simply push on this icon right here. If you see something that is interesting for your post-production, mark it as a highlight. To stop the video, push this icon right here. And as you have seen, there's no pause function. Then we have this icon right here where we can jump back into a 360-degree space. Here you can go back to the settings, and if you would like to shut down the camera, use the power icon right here. Let me jump back, because from here you can do the same. We're now recording in 8K 25, that is a 360-degree video. Here you can change between those different modes, and if I would like to start a video now, I simply push this icon in the middle. And as previously shown, if I see something that is interesting for me in post-production, and to find it much easier, I simply push on this highlight icon. To stop the video, simply push on this icon once again. The photo mode is basically the same. Here you can change if you would like to take a single photo, a burst, or a night photo. If I just want to take a photo now, I just push this icon once. And I can obviously adjust the settings from the camera right here. And if I use the pencil icon, I have the individual modes that I can select or deselect in photo mode. So they might differ a little bit from what you have previously seen from the video mode, but the menu structure itself is basically the same. So you can adjust the shutter speed, the ISO. The output is standard, interval, if you need an interval, scheduled capture, or you can set a timer if you would like to be on the same photo. And last but not least, you do have also the time-lapse mode, and you can jump between those individual sub-menus. So time warp is a hyperlapse, start trails, light painting, vehicle lights, and here's a normal time-lapse video. And every menu looks the same and differs by some minor things. Here, for instance, the resolution, you can either select 8K or 5.6K. You can select an interval for your time lapse. You can have a scheduled capture, white balance, ISO minimum, ISO maximum, and a color profile can be set right here. And last but not least, you can view all your files by tapping on the media icon. Here are the files that we took together on my desk. As you can see, we get some highlights in those ones because you have these highlight icons right here. I can mark those clips. I can also select all of them. I can download them onto my phone's memory, or I can delete them. If I delete those files now, they will be deleted on my GoPro's memory card. Keep that in mind. Then there's another function, GoPro Studio. So there's one subscription version which kind of uses AI to edit your videos, and you can also create your own video with the files you took already and hit the create and edit. That's it. So that was my tutorial about the brand new GoPro Max 2. If this video helped you to improve whatever you would like to do with this camera, make sure to subscribe, give this video a like, and to actively support my channel, you can get the GoPro, the memory card, and all the accessories using the link in the video description. See you next time here on the Daniel Life.